We continue our eternal quest to find the best Wonderkids wherever they may be. Today it's the top Wonderkids that can play naturally on the left wing, and honestly, we have a surprise. Number 1 is gonna blow your mind. I'm Zealand for FMBase, and this is the 10 best Wonderkids that can play left wing. Woo! Okay, if you haven't gone on this ride with us before, time to lay out the criteria just for you. The Wonderkids are defined as 19 and under, so you can be 5 years old, but if you've got high enough potential in Football Manager, then you're on the list. Also, when we're doing these particular positions on the field, so Wonderkid left wings, it's not necessarily people who are just wingers. You have to be a natural at the left attacking midfield position to be considered a Wonderkid out on the left wing, but you can be an inverted winger, an inside forward, who knows, but that's the criteria. We're going to do 10. They are ranked in their potential rating, the order of their potential rating in the game. That's pretty self-explanatory, so it's just about time to dive in. Ooh, one last thing, couple of honorable mentions, guys that you're going to look at the list and go, wait, I thought this guy he was close, but he didn't quite make it. I also feel bad for one. And the one I feel bad for is Rayon Cherki. This is a guy that, when the game came out, was heralded by me and others as the Wonderkid. Well, he's gone down a little bit in his potential rating, and he's actually just on the outside looking in. Then there's Paulinho at Bayer Leverkusen, who actually is basically 11. He just misses out compared to the guy that we have at number 10. And Callum Hudson-Odoi was also almost right there. So he is still good. You can still sign those guys and you will not be disappointed. They have fantastic potential, but they don't have fantastic enough potential. To the list! And at number 10, who really only beat out Paulinho with his hidden attributes, it's Ansu Fati, the hot kid of the hour. 16-year-old at Barcelona's made headlines for making appearances recently, being the youngest Champions League goal scorer, I think it was ever. And Football Manager has taken notice. Now, for a 16-year-old, Ansu Fati has unbelievable ability. The issue for him is that he does seem to be capped one tier below the guys who are really right at the top of this list in terms of what his potential ability could be. The reasons for this are quite frankly unknown. If I was ranking real-life players, he would be higher. But right now, the guy who represents Spain and has some Ghanaian background in him too, he just doesn't quite cut it if you're looking for world-beating prospects. He's not one of them, but he can start for a Champions League winning side at left wing. He can offer you versatility. He might even be a better forward. But right now, at the left wing situation, Ansu Fati is number 10. At least he made it. Would have been riots in the streets if I didn't put him on here. But he earned it. He earned it. Donde está numero 9? Found him. Rodrygo, Real Madrid. We stayed in Spain, so I went with the Spanish. Are you feeling it? Anyways, Rodrygo is obviously a very good player. He has the third highest starting ability on this list, and he's not even 19. He's only 18. He's got pretty good professionalism, pretty good temperament. He's fairly consistent. There's just a lot of things to like about Rodrygo. One of the things not to like is that he's obviously already been identified, is very expensive if you're trying to acquire him. He's also already making $5 million a year at the age of 18. $5 million, but still. Also, I know. My wages are in per year. For whoever I've offended, I deeply apologize. It's an American thing. We mess everything up. That's what we do. Numero 8, senor. We're sticking with the Spanish because we're going with the Mexican Wonderkid this time, Diego Lainez. That's the American pronunciation. It's actually like Lainez. And if you haven't heard of this guy, I have. He's been shredding my national team of the United States for a year now. Even though he's 5'6", 127 pounds, he's just disgusting. He's a man beater. Gotta check the wording on that, but he has great dribbling, great technique, creativity on the ball, and the athleticism to get the job done. He's a very hard player to keep track of in real life and in the game. And even though he doesn't start as a feature player for his club Real Betis and he's 19, by the time he's 24, 25, bit of a late bloomer, he is going to be a lethal player that should be running first team for just about any club in the world. My bet, he doesn't stay with Real Betis for long. I don't really know Portuguese, and even when I do know it, I can't speak it, so let's just go to number 7. 7 is a player that I actually had in Football Manager 2019. He's a double-sided winger, which I love that kind of versatility, and he's a more balanced player than Lainez. Francisco Trincao. In terms of actual overall rating, Lainez has a little more ability than Trincao at the start of the game, but Trincao, well, he might be a better player because of the kind of balance he can bring to a team. Not nearly as one-dimensional. The balance means that long-term, as Trincao develops, his level is going to rise past a one-dimensional man-beater like Lainez. And that makes him someone that you would probably much rather sign, even though he might be a little less entertaining. Right at the beginning, he'll be fine. And by fine, just by making this list, he's got a chance to be in the world best 11 and could start for almost any club in the world once he reaches his full potential, which I'm sure Braga is looking to milk, because really at the start of the game, everybody wants Francisco Trincao. I'm not kidding. Everybody wants him. Well, not everybody. Now for... wait. Getting a transmission. Yeah, that's future me reminding me to remind you that if you enjoy the video, please go ahead and hit the like button down below. We'd really appreciate it. Helps us out a lot. Lets us know if we're doing a good job or not. And if you enjoy just this channel in general, you can hit the subscribe button. That means you're going to get all an access. Well, you already have access. Whoops. You'll get notifications when we go live with a new video, a different guide, a different test. We tested all the best tactics. That video you'll be able to find up there on the FMBase tactic tester. It's been very effective. A lot of people have had success with it, so you can check that out to find out the best tactics and a bunch of different things like that. Subscribe. You can also hang out with me. I stream on Twitch 4 days a week. The link's down below, and it's also popping up right now in a super fancy way, I think. Right. Number 6. Number 6 is another Portuguese player, and his name is Francisco Conceicao. Okay, Conceicao. Francisco Conceicao. He's a 16-year-old on the Porto B team. He's still on a youth contract. I think that makes him the only guy on this list that is. He's the worst guy on this list in terms of current ability, but that can kind of be expected since he's also the youngest guy on this list. And he's pretty cheap, but he's never going to be incredibly athletic. So if you're looking for a burner on the left wing that's going to be able to threaten teams with their athleticism, he's not your guy. I'm hitting him with a lot of pros and a lot of cons, but he's 6th on the list for a reason. He's got better potential than anybody we've seen so far. So sign him and watch him fly up. Decent developmental traits. Not good, not bad. Moving on. He's also an either-sided winger. Now we go. Top 5, baby. And Mr. Number 5, Daniel Maldini at AC Milan. I'm surprised there aren't more people talking about this player. Now, it obviously has some cons, but there's a lot of good things about Maldini. He's an either-sided player who's young. He's at a major club. He has incredible adaptability. There are no issues with his temperament and no massive deficits in his developmental attributes. They aren't particularly bad. But I imagine the reason he's not on a lot of lists is he has one determination, straight up one determination, and doesn't like big matches. But he's 17. And he has this amazing potential. So what you do is you take an experienced attacking third player. Anyone will do because he can play all over the attacking third. With good determination and good developmental attributes, you stick him in a mentoring group. You take Daniel Maldini, you stick him in a mentoring group with that one dude, and just let it happen. Determination is more pliable than almost any other attribute in the game. I think it is more pliable than any other attribute in the game, so you can get that determination driven up and it will be less of a problem. It'll never be super high, but once it becomes less of a problem, you just clear that minor roadblock to Maldini being able to become this world-beating type of player that he actually has the potential to be. I mean, he's in the top 5 best potential left-wing wonderkids in the world, people. Top 4. I call that one Blue Steel. Naci Unuvar is a guy that's Blue Steel. I'm working on my modeling looks. I am. Unuvar is somebody, staying on topic, that gets a lot of attention with good reason. He's at Ajax. He has, I believe, 15 technique right off the top as a 16-year-old. That just attracts a lot of attention. 15 natural fitness. He's obviously going to be a very good player. There are a few detractors that maybe keep him from being in the top 3. Those are generally a lack of high developmental attributes and hidden attributes, and he's not a particularly balanced player. But where Unuvar is talented makes him actually a very dangerous going forward offensive player. 15 finishing on top of 15 technique with the opportunity to become athletic at some point down the line in your training because you're only 16. You pretty much take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday. 3 times on Sunday, really. Just got to get on them early because PSG's already sniffing around the goods once the game starts. They are just always sniffing. You've been waiting all day for the top 3, or at least a few minutes. This might sound bizarre, but this is really the best guy on the list. Jadon Sancho, you might have heard of him. He's already a starting player and really a star for a team in the Champions League knockout stages, and he's doing it at 19 years of age. Not only is he athletic, but he can dribble, has a super high technical floor, which I always consider very important, has natural flair, and has good vision. But we already know he's good. He's actually the most talented player on this entire list. Why is he number 3? Well, there's only one reason, isn't there? That potential ability just isn't quite as high as the next 2 people on this list. But that being said, Jadon Sancho does have a better opportunity to reach his potential than anybody on this list because he's already a borderline world-class player at 19 years of age. Most people in real life would argue that he is, but attribute-wise, he's kind of pushing right up against the line in Football Manager. I don't know if he's quite there yet. He will be very soon, has the potential to contend for Ballon d'Ors, and will have the opportunity to contend for a long time. He moved my boy Pulisic out of the way. That's when you know he's good. Let's get the last predictable one out of the way, shall we? Number 2, the $45 million 16-year-old. What do you know? He's actually pretty good. Vinicius Junior at Real Madrid. He's a one-man band, man destroyer. Better dribbling, better technique than Jadon Sancho. He's got the same general athleticism with 18 determination and 16 flair. There isn't a guy in the world who would have a good time guarding Vinicius Junior when he's trying to run with the ball. In Football Manager. That, and he's not 19 like Sancho, he's 18. He's the second best player right now on this list, and he's got the second best potential on this list. You know what that means? It means he's probably going to be very, very good. Like he already isn't. Basically any team in the world could use this guy already. Just to put the icing on the cake for you, he has incredible adaptability, so if you're in another league in another country and you get assigned Vinicius Junior, he will be okay, and his development will be basically entirely uninterrupted, which is a marvel. We already knew he was a great player, though. Now to the one you've all been waiting for, the guy you don't see coming, who actually has better potential than all these fools. Number 1, the 17-year-old Dutchman at Heerenveen named Arjen Van Der Heide. Successor to Arjen Robben, not quite. Even though he can play that inside forward position off the right, he's more comfortable on the left, and he already has 17 first touch as a 17-year-old. Now you look at him, you go, okay, this is obviously a very good young player, but is he better than the last 2 people? Right now, no. But in his weighted attributes in the future, yes. I'd never heard of him before. In my other Wonderkid searches, he hadn't come up. The new database loves Arjen Van Der Heide. Do I know why? Yes. He can become a sensational natural winger with explosive athleticism, really, really, really good technique and the ability to beat people, consistent enough goal scoring, and he's cheap because Heerenveen they just don't know what they have yet. I don't know if Van Der Heide knows that he's supposed to be this good, but Football Manager thinks Arjen Van Der Heide is supposed to be this good. He doesn't even have a first-team appearance for Heerenveen when the game starts. That's how easy he should be able to get to. And his attributes just sync up the right way for him to be the most effective, efficient, best natural left-wing player under the age of 20. Best potential, I should say. A few other guys out there who probably will be better, but they're already over 20. I hope that got you surprised enough with that last one. Thank you so much for watching. Had a lot of fun making this video. You know I love doing scouting videos like this one and figuring out the right answer and finding, well, just a couple of guys I didn't really know existed and sprinkling them on top and finding where they rate around players that we all know, like Jadon Sancho. I will see you guys soon. Check out the links down below for more information, for more fun. If you want to hang out with me on Twitch, again, the link is down there as well. You can also ask questions. There's a Discord section. There's not only the FMBase Discord, but my Discord. You can slide into my DMs if you want to. I gotta go stream. I will catch you later. Shirt inside out, gang. Flat colors. That's what it's about.